everyone, I am ShandrahFaith, and you are here on Reading Rainbows with my first video, which I already started. So, and I'm having a little smoke first because I had a little panic attack about filming my own video. Even though I'm a film major, I get very anxious about any aspect of film. And I just break down. But luckily, my husband helped me and I am ready to go. I wanted to start this so that you could smoke with me and get to know me and get to all you out there in internet world. So yeah, let's have a smoke together and then I can kind of show you what I'm doing right now. Yes, and this is my room. Over here, boop, is the goddess Oshun. I'll probably do like a show around of my room, but I'm planning on having 4 goddesses. I have 3. I'll show you. I have 3, but I would like to get 4 to represent the 4 elements: earth, wind, fire, water. I just want to say earth, wind, and fire, like the band. But oh my gosh. But I'm a fire sign, so I love smoke and fire. But if I only get that, then it's not good. You need balance. You need to balance all 4 elements. That's what the cross is about, is balancing those 4 elements. And just like yin and yang, that image is showing a life that can flow easily. Because if we put too much weight on one side of the seesaw won't move. So we got to balance all of that. So I got Oshun here for water element. Right here is San Miguel, or Archangel Michael. I like my three archangels that I go to are Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, and Archangel Raphael, or Mike, Gabe, and Ralph. Ralph's my dad's name, and his real name is Raphael, but everyone calls him Ralph. So I was just like, oh, like when people talk about archangels, they always use like their proper name, but then I'm like, oh my gosh, so many people have those names, you just don't think of them with those names. I guess people use Michael a lot, but yeah, now I feel like, I remember one time I was talking to Michael and I was just like, I'm gonna call you Mike, and he was like, what? Like, it was like weird, like when someone's just like, no, I'm a Michael. But I think they've accepted it and kind of like been like they let go of their angel pride and been like, okay, she can connect us better if he's like, yo, Mike, I need your help, there's a demon over here. So yeah, that is what is, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just trying to shoot the shit with you guys while I get prepared for this. But okay, let's just go and do it. So right now I'm doing a twin flame connection reading. And maybe if I can show you down here. I'll just show you the cards one by one. And yeah, So I did a confirmation and making sure the person I'm thinking of is my twin flame. And then I just started delving into it. Right now I'm using the dream interpretation cards. So, what was I thinking? What was I saying? I forgot. But, yeah. So we have the themes of books. Books clarified by music. And we got a ton clarified by children. Art clarified by loneliness. So let's start with these two, books and music. So what I found was that these two cards were connected because of how it's a loop. Our connection is a loop, and we gain knowledge through books and learning, and just any way we're absorbing knowledge and giving it to each other through music, however which way we share music. What is that? What? Sorry, there's like a weird floaty thing. There's like a weird floaty thing. What is... Are those coming from my ash? I don't know. There's like little black... They look... Oh my god, I don't even know where they went. That is really weird. Anyway, that's my own thing. So books and music kind of... the books give us the knowledge, and the music is how we express it. So that's kind of our way of it talking to each other. Time and children is talking about how time grows our connection, just like raising a child. I don't think we want to have children. I don't want to have children. So what this means, children represents your own growth and your inner child. And what I think that represents is the connection, is that this connection is going to grow with time. And as we gain more knowledge and express it to each other, while we can't physically talk to each other, is how we're going to grow, and how we're not going to be so scared of each other when we actually talk to each other in the 3D. Finally, the last section is art, clarified by loneliness. And I was talking about how these two are representations of two kinds of forms of water. So the art has this like living water, and water represents emotion. So the art helps us express the emotion, because we can't express it just in words, or so we create put emotion into physical form through art. And here, loneliness is that freezing of that emotion, of feeling isolated enough that your emotions freeze. So what it's saying is that art is a way to combat that loneliness and to express our feelings to each other through our art. And finally, for overall energy, is doggies. Woof, woof, woof. Quick. So I got this for my dream interpretation earlier. And so this week I focused a lot on cat magic. So next week I'm focusing on Dog Magic, and that's about loyalty, and I was talking about how I haven't really focused on domestic dog magic, like wild dog magic. I totally understand, like wolf, jackal, coyote energy. That's where I derive a lot of my dog energy if I connect to canines. Those are the only canines I've been like connecting to, so I've never really thought of channeling domestic dog energy, which is like been really great. I've been seeing a lot of dogs and saying hi to them these last couple days, and we're thinking of getting a dog next year, and just like I'm just seeing dogs. Like I've just been really a cat person all my life because my parents didn't want a dog, and so they got me a cat, and then I've just been like cat lady. So I never really like got to connect to that dog energy, but I always loved dogs, and I think it's just because my family didn't let me have a dog when I was a kid that I kind of just was like, okay, I'm going to focus on cats then. I'm going to be a cat person. But I think there really is like this strong spiritual connection with dogs that I have. So we'll dive into that next week. And I think that's why it's our overall energy for this connection, because dogs are going to play an important role in this connection as being maybe like messengers or like signposts. Because like you can get sign, like if you see a certain animal all the time, like, and you don't usually see them, or there's more significance to a certain animal at this time, you should look up the spiritual meaning of that specific animal and see what kind of message the animal is bringing. And like I'm going to say, and I always say, is that I believe there's no coincidences. So seeing or interacting with dogs all the time when you don't usually, you got to look up what that message is. What are you trying to focus on in your life, or what are the messages the dogs are bringing? So I think they're just going to have a really important role in this connection currently, in like, somehow revealing messages to us about our connection. So the dogs have it. Okay, so then I also drew 3 fairy tale oracle cards to represent how he is feeling. What are his feelings towards this relationship? And we got 36, the Snow Queen, loyalty, which I was like, that goes with dogs. Like, the main characteristics of domesticated dogs is loyalty. Then we got ingenuity, Gretel, of Hansel and Gretel. And then we got sister love, which I was talking about earlier, is funny because I keep, for this connection, this is a male-female connection. When I ask about it, I always get, I get a lot of like sister cards, or like we're sisters, or maybe we were sisters in a past life. I still haven't uncovered what it is, but I also think it's our feminine energies are very compatible. Like once he recognizes his feminine energies, and like what I was saying earlier, that we need to be balanced to live a flowing life that's just doesn't feel stressful and hard, is if we balance that masculine and feminine energy. And even just the first step is to realize that if you're a certain gender, there's still feminine and masculine aspects to you that you need to balance to get your life flowing normally and smoothly. You want it to flow. You don't want to feel blocked all the time. You want to feel like there is there is this balance, and I like that seesaw imagery. You want the seesaw to be moving so you can have fun. You don't want to have two kids on one side and you're just like up high and not moving. It's kind of scary because you don't know when you're going to fall. So yeah, so I think that's what the sister thing is with us. I'm not sure. I think so, because it's so funny, because I think he's like a very masculine person. So I just think it's funny to think that we could possibly have been sisters in a past life. And now we're like potentially lovers. It's so funny. I think it's gonna take some sleuthing to find out exactly what the sister connection is in this twin flame connection. So, what was I saying? Okay, so let me take a little smoke break. Oh my gosh. I was like, I collect postcards. I have so many now, and they're great. I feel like they're great decor. And right there, wait, how do I point? Okay. You see like on top of my mirror is a Little Mermaid Hot Wheels car. If anyone's wondering what that is. And right here is, I had a calendar of outhouses, but they were like beautiful, very like beautiful outhouses. You know, think of like scenic or scenery when you think of outhouses, but yeah, they're like out there. So these are two twin. It's like my twin flame outhouses. Okay. Anywho. Okay. So, let's talk about the Snow Queen, meaning loyalty. So, these cards, my question was, how does he feel about me? So, loyalty. He's feeling that loyalty. He's feeling that loyalty to me. And it's the story of the Snow Queen is that a young girl gets her friend taken by the Snow Queen, and he is basically stuck with her till the girl can like rescue him from like this coldness. And it's represented in the Let It Go story, in Frozen, where instead of the little boyfriend, is represented in Anna, the sister. Oh my God, the sister love. Oh my gosh, yeah. So it's this loyalty to either friendship, family, but there's this coldness, and it totally goes with this loneliness thing, and like warming the snow to make water, and letting your emotions flow. And it takes loyalty to kind of break the ice, so to speak. So yeah, I think he's working on that loyalty, like understanding that there is a connection, and just practicing that loyalty and being like, okay, I'm focused on this person. There's no physical evidence. There's no physical evidence that there's a connection here, but I have faith and I am loyal to that faith. So that's kind of like where he's at. So starting to learn loyalty, and with the dog magic is about learning to be loyal. Like dogs are so loyal to their owners, and they can be loyal in good ways and loving ways, or they can be loyal in how their trainers train them. Like if they're used to getting hit and being abused, they will cower and at people over time because they are loyal to that thought, and people get the same way. You can be loyal to your negative thoughts. So loyalty can go both ways. I mean, yeah, it's like you can also be loyal to a good cause or a bad cause, loyal to a helpful person or a toxic person. Loyalty is lie everywhere. You can be loyal to whatever you want. But yeah, so it's just like this loyalty, this like, I'm gonna wait this out. I'm gonna wait for you to thaw. I'm gonna wait for this situation to thaw. And I'm not gonna abandon you. Because that's what a loyalty is not abandoning someone, emotionally or physically. Well, I mean, we're physically separate, so if you can't be loyal that way, you can be loyal emotionally. And that's what he's dealing with. All right. So next we move on to how he's feeling is ingenuity. So I was talking about how this is like ingenuity. What comes to mind is Matlock, where the character of Matlock can figure out situations with just what you have. So, and like trying to escape a room with like just a piece of gum and a paper clip, and somehow it helps him solve whatever situation he's in. So it's ingenuity is using what you have to solve the problem, to continue the journey. So I'll read about that in a minute. Okay. Sorry, let me finish this before I move on. I'm like, this is a good smoking video if you are smoking too. And just like finish up a bowl while I'm trying to do this. And then we can finish up, start reading again. Okay. Put that in there. Come on. Okay. Blah. Okay. So let's read about Gretel. So she pushed. Oh my gosh. Here we go. She pushed poor Gretel out to the oven, from which flames of fire were already darting. "Creep in," said the witch, "and see if it properly heated, so that we can put the bread in." And once Gretel was inside, she intended to shut the oven and let her back in. And then she would eat her too. But Gretel saw what she had in mind and said, "I do not know how I am to do it. How do I get in?" "Silly goose," said the old woman, "the door is big enough. Just look, I can get in myself." And she crept up and thrust her head into the oven. Then Gretel gave her a push that drove her far into it and shut the iron door and fastened the bolt. Oh, then she began to howl quite horribly. Without fear or the occasion that caused it, there would be no need for valor. There would be no occasion for Hansel to practice the loving solitude for his sister that brought about his words of comfort and his shrewd plan to come safely back home. The same can be said for Gretel at the story's end. With Hansel locked away, she had no one to rely on but herself. The fear she felt for herself and Hansel led to courage. Her courage led her to cleverly avert disaster and save herself and her brother. Both children reacted rightly to their fear. There's nothing good about fear and fear alone, but the experience of fear in its raw and hideous reality can lead to valor, dignity, ingenious ideas in less than a moment. This card teaches that young women face many dangers, and this may be the case in your life, or you may have experienced danger earlier within your own life. There is more than a good ending to your own personal story, and the betrayal by adults within your young life has not lessened the love that your peers and your adopted family have for you. You have shown again and again that when pressure comes, you will not let fear take you down. You rise to the occasion and overwhelm all adversaries. You have faced that which frightens all of us, and you have come through. You have also been tremendously let down by the grown-ups in your life. They failed in their duty, and it is so important that you realize that it never was, never will be your fault, that they failed you so deeply. And now it is your turn to help younger people, particularly young ones who have suffered at the hands of their own parents. Tell your story and know that you are an inspiration. You are able to inspire, excite, and guide younger people to create for themselves safe, loving spaces, relationships, and families. Your strengths, strategies, and abilities must be passed on. Even if it is in the most simple of ways, contact with younger people will be not only good for you, but good for those young ones who can learn from you. Meaning, you will show courage under difficult circumstances. People love helping you. You're a true defender of friends and family. You work well in teams, unite against a common foe. You're resourceful, quick thinking, and protective. So this is funny because this came up in the row under children. And it's talking about using your suffering you had as a child to realize how you've grown into a grown-up. And then the next step is to teach that to the youth, to those younger than you. And I think this is funny because this card came up when I was asking about his feelings for me, and he is older than me. And it's kind of talking about how he is using what he has. I mean, I was talking about earlier how he's used to proving everything, like a lawyer or a scientist who needs to prove things physically to get recognition or to get, what's it called? Validation. There's another word, but basically validation that, yes, we believe you because of this physical evidence. We believe this person is innocent or guilty because of this physical evidence. It's not just hearsay. But in spiritual connections, the only physical proof there is in like symbols and metaphors and like seeing repeating numbers, or just what I was talking about earlier is seeing those animal guides and what messages, and it's just like that's not going to hold up in court. And so his mind has been so logical that he's just at this like stage, this little kid stage of navigating the physical world. I'm not that, the non-physical world, because this connection is a non-physical connection. But with the loyalty card, it's showing that he is aware that it's happening and that he needs to use his psychic mental tools instead of physical tools to prove this connection is real, which is like a mind trip, because you're like, what? I thought real things were only tangible things that I could see and touch, and like only physical evidence is the correct kind of evidence. But that's for a physical relationship. A spiritual connection is a totally different realm, different world, different game. So yeah, so he's feeling ingenious towards me. He's like, I've got to be the ephemeral Matlock to figure this out, because I only have metaphorical gum and a paper clip. Figure this out. So yeah, he's feeling very like square one. I don't have a lot of tools. It's kind of like when you start a video game, like one of those long like adventure video games, and you're like, oh, I only have like this amount of money, coins, and I still gotta like, I got used to the environment, and just like, I don't know who I'm gonna meet, or if I'm gonna just die and use one of my lives already. It's just like, I don't know. But over time, you've had experiences, even as a little kid, that can help you and make you more ingenious in moments where you feel like you don't have the tools to understand something or move forward with something. Whew. Okay. So the last one about his feelings, what are his feelings, is sister love. Sister love. So, let me read about that. 26. Okay, I'm just gonna read this because I'm still trying to figure out what this sister connection is between us. So, a little smoke break. It actually, like, smoking help, like, sometimes when I'm shuffling and it just takes a long time, I get this, like, it's kind of like a little request. It reminds me of, like, Cinderella and the mice, where they're like, can you give us a little piece of cheese, or like, feed us? And the smoking is like feeding the spirits. Like, they're like, oh, can we just have a little more and it will be more clear? I'm like, sure. Well, this will go a little more, like, we need a little help. So it's this idea of mana, spiritual currency, and I think that you earn that kind of like a video game in dreams, collecting coins that will help you in reality. And same with using smoke, is this exchange, this energetic exchange, which you can use as kind of like smoke magic, ingesting it and releasing it through your own energies. And what I'm doing is channeling it into psychic energies, into connecting with this, with spirit and whatever entities, ancestors are helping me as well. So yeah. Okay, so let's read about sister love. The two children were so fond of one another that they always held each other by the hand when they went out together. And when Snow White said, "We will not leave each other," Rose Red answered, "Never so long as we live." And their mother would add, "What one has, she must share with the other." They often ran about the forest alone and gathered red berries, and no beast did them any harm, but came close to them trustfully. The little hare would eat a cabbage leaf out of their hands. The roe grazed by their side. The stag leapt merrily by them, and the birds sat still upon the boughs and sang whatever they knew. No mishap overtook them. If they had stayed too late in the forest and night came on, they laid themselves down near one another upon the moss and slept until morning came, and their mother knew this and did not worry on their account. The beautiful tale is about sisterhood and family, and the love and trust that people who have been raised well and nurtured tenderly can give. It is a testament to nature and to the trust that the sisters have between them. They are at home within nature. They are protected by nature's spirits. An angel stops them from falling over a precipice, and they have so much simple good fortune that they even take in a bear one cold, dark night. They let him warm himself by the fire, and in time this bear becomes their friend. Of course, as is the way with fairy tales, the bear is not a bear, but an enchanted prince, and their trust and love for him is rewarded in the friendship he returns. For the reward is not just that their love breaks a curse and his bearskin falls away, and he shows himself to be a prince. There is, of course, a marriage and a happily ever after. It is that their family's circle of love and trust creates friendship, joy, warmth, and protection for all who enter it. Their family, which could be quite bitter, for they are not rich, is small, close, and full of love. They have been taught to share everything, and they do so, and in that sharing, greater goodness can be created. Thus, when this card comes to you, know that it is time to do good turns, to appreciate the small fortunes you have, to count blessings, and to know that whatever blessing you have, it can expand and grow richer, deeper, and more lasting when we place our attention upon the blessing. The sisters and the loving mother and their tiny cottage are beloved because of this energy. They bring to everything. They are loving, therefore they are loved. So know that at this time, it is important to appreciate what you have been gifted. Love the friendships and family who have been good to you, and find every gem in the dirt, every star in the darkness. Make this your habit, and the rewards will be peace and joy and contentment. From these three things, so many more blessings can flow. The other aspect is that the sisters are dark and light, both good, but one quick and vivacious, the other shy, yet they share everything. One marries the bear prince, the other his brother, and love each other dearly. So too with us. We must marry within us our dark, our light, not rejecting either, and by sharing both aspects of the self with the world in tender, honest, and vulnerable ways. We become strong and abundance flows to us. What may appear to frighten others will be for you an opportunity to do good. Oh, that goes with our ingenuity and about using that fear to help you. So what may appear to frighten others will be for you an opportunity to do good. Your generosity and your lack of fear and your solid bonds with loved ones will give you all the strength you need, all the blessings you could ever wish for. Meanings: family bonds, sister love, sharing when you have little, rewards for good deeds, sharing what you have creates abundance, sibling loyalty and love, extending hospitality and generosity, seeing beyond appearances, reward for a good, true heart. A true, true friend is a friend indeed. Okay. I'm a brony, so I might be singing a lot of pony songs. But yeah, it's this familiar, he's recognizing this deep familial bond between us. And it could mean we were either sisters in a past life or brother and sister in a past life. I'm trying to figure that out. It could be both, maybe. But it's also what they were saying, how Snow White and Rose Red balance each other out, but they're two sides of the coin. And that's what I'm talking about with the seesaw and the yin and yang within ourselves, is he's recognizing that connection between us is deeper than being like, oh, I'm attracted to this person on Twitter and I like them. I mean, like, it's like, you know, basic, like, liking things. like a lot. Basic attraction. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than, like, wow, she likes the same things I do. It's deeper than that. It can go way deeper than that, into, like, past lives And he's starting to see that and kind of feeling, and this is kind of what I feel is gonna melt this Snow Queen right here, to melt this ice in the relationship. Because first I think what happened, it's kind of like finding a woolly mammoth in the snow, or like, yeah, things that have been buried in the snow for a long time, and you've got to like cut him out and defrost him. and it takes time, and just being very gentle about it. Like, I don't know how they excavate woolly mammoths out of the snow, but just the idea of defrosting something takes time. It's not instant. It's not like, just like the movie Frozen. It's like Elsa didn't know that she was the person who created the snow, but she thought that she couldn't stop it. But I think there's the affinity symbol of, if you've created something, you know how to stop it. You just it will take time. Or if you've created something, you know, you will figure it out. You'll use your ingenuity and your experiences in the past to melt that snow. And like, if you feel blocked or frozen, it's like you need to go deep into yourself and figure out how to unlock this, how to unfreeze this. So right now, yeah, I feel like he recognizes that this connection is thawing. It's in thawing mode. We've found it. It's there. We found the woolly mammoth. Now we gotta like take him out. We're still in the cold, and now we're like figuring out how to thaw him. Okay, so let's see. Oh gosh. Start my pipe. Okay. Let's get some relationship advice for this connection with the affirmators. Affirmators who have a lovely lovely series of cards. I'll show you this too. Yeah. So if you want to check that out. Okay. So, oops. Okay, I tried to just shuffle regularly, but okay. So Spirit, I would like to ask for. Oh my gosh, I just got ash everywhere. It's like the Pele energy. I just got Pele. The Fire Goddess. It's cool. It's by Coco Joe, made out of, I don't know if you, made in Hawaii with lava. I don't know if that's going to show up backwards, but you'll watch this show on a mirror. So here's Pele. And so I just like feel like she's really bringing out the ash, and I just changed my sheets. So I'm just like, oh, okay, well, I'm just gonna live in ash since I am a double fire sign anyway, and smoke and fire and ash are just gonna rain down on me all the time, so I don't need to freak out that I have ash on my bed. Or like, okay, so we have scorekeeping. No scorekeeping, sorry. I keep getting that one for this connection. Funny. All right, what's some advice for this connection, Spirit? Some advice. Woo. Listening. Resilience. Okay, real quick. Oops. Where did I put that? Okay. Where did it? Oh my gosh. Oh, here. Sorry. Figure out a better like system of putting the smoke in. Like a dragon. But I'm not a dragon in the Chinese zodiac. I am a rabbit. Super lucky girl. If you get with me, you got the luck. Because I'm a Sag who's ruled by Jupiter, which also rules luck. So, double luck sign. Blow on your dice. Okay. Sorry. I don't know. Getting a little feisty. Getting a little fiery here, people. Okay. Whew. Okay. So, no score keeping. I cut ties with past conflicts and make my personal life a clean, shiny slate. Beginning this moment, everything is new. When an old grievance repeats itself in my head, I introduce it to my new head tenants, tolerance and equanimity. Then I give it its stupid t-shirts and records back and tell it to leave. So, what I'm getting from this card is, and this is one of the cards when I do readings on this connection, is no score keeping. So I think we're both highly competitive people, and I think the score keeping also has to do with that collecting of evidence of like, I'm only going to believe this if there's physical evidence, if this person like tells me they like me or have feelings for me. And that's where you're tallying up this evidence to figure out if this is real. And it's just like, you don't need to do that. That is going to create more blocks in the connection if you keep trying to like figure things out and keep score of like who knows more or like who likes who or what the other person's doing. Like, even if you are in a physical relationship, you shouldn't keep score of like, okay, what nice things did they do for me this week compared to how many nice things I did in this. It should flow. It should be a flow. And that's what balancing your masculine and feminine energies within yourself is going to help, because once you balance that, you release, you're going to understand unconditional love. Because the best way to love is unconditionally. And unconditionally means it's not a game. It's not a competition. There's no score. It's unconditional. It just happens. It's like swimming. You're like swimming for fun. Like, you're in the water. You're just there. You know, you're not in a swimming race. You're just in the water and doing your thing. And that's what creates joy. So, the second card is listening, which is, I activate my receptive side and become an engaged, intuitive, professional-grade listener. Supercharged listening gives me the ability to not only hear the words others are saying, but also to perceive the emotions hiding behind their words. Armed with this knowledge, I'll be in a great position to give them exactly what they need, or if I prefer to, dominate the planet. So listening. So I think we've been focusing in this connection on trying to communicate, trying to talk to each other, when really we just need to be sponges and soak up what the other person's telling them not like in a physical way, not like physically talking, but like in dreams, in the art that we create to just send these messages, is to receive first, to listen, is to accept the gifts, then you can show your gifts and then answer back. But first you have to listen. and listen to the relationship and the connection, and listen to the messages that are coming in on both sides. Because the spirits are like, we can't talk to you like normal people. We talk through metaphors and messages and dreams. So you need to listen that way. It's like a new kind of form of listening that we need to learn. Super listening. And finally we have resilience. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but unkind words can somehow drain every bit of joy and color from my once rosy life. But nothing can ever permanently damage the real me. I love myself, I cherish myself, and I vow to remember that I am always camped out in the depths of myself, even when I don't feel like very much of myself. Resilience. So, yeah, it's kind of like that ingenuity card where we're gotta stick through it, or we don't have any choice but to be resilient and ingenious at this moment, because that's all we have right now. And we can't jump on a couch like Tom Cruise and yell about it, because it's gonna sound crazy, and people still have a stigma on crazy. So it's gonna take a lot of resilience in this connection, as I think in twin flame connections, is resilience is an important part. I think the 3 relationship advice that I got, no scorekeeping, listening, and resilience, are 3 elements that should be recognized in a successful twin flame connection. So yeah, just to help you guys out on that. So finally, let's get some crystal cards. This is Eternal Crystals. And what crystals are guiding this relationship? Spirit, what crystals are guiding? Pranite, release, declutter, heart chakra. Pranite, release, declutter, heart chakra. Cool. Heart chakra is very important. Twin flame connections. Oh, and 33. Look at that. 33. 333 is Ascended Masters. And 33 to me is reaching, like going towards enlightenment, or like this is like an enlightenment moment, and like maturing and like gaining that second 3. Like the first 3 was kind of hard, but now you're at the second 3. Like 30 years has gone by, and like these 3s are like, once you complete the triangle, you can create another triangle and like make a big old like multi-dimensional structure with all these triangles. And side note, I'm going into my 33rd year in December. So yeah, that's all I have to say about the number 33 for now. Okay, what crystals are... All right, we got Kevin Garnett. This is funny because this reminds me of Uncut Gems, and that's been coming up a lot. I don't know. It's a good movie. It's gritty, but it's cool. I like gems. So anyway, boop boop boop. Garnet, commitment, heart, and sacral chakras. So we got 2 heart stones. So yeah, definitely working on our heart chakras. Oh my gosh. 3rd one is dioptase. Look, there's a little heart on here. and its direction and heart chakra. So we got heart chakra, heart and sacral, and heart chakra. So Spirit is really like, guys, you need to work on your heart chakra, which I think is the integral chakra to work on in a twin flame connection. I noticed it when I first started recognizing the connection. And my heart always had this weird kind of palpitaty feeling, or like it was like a tingly feeling, because my mom would get heart palpitations, and I think that was from anxiety, and it like felt like anxiety light. And I never understood that till 2 years ago when I started recognizing the twin flame connection and being like, oh, this is kind of what I see it is like my twin connecting with me, and that we're connected through all the chakras, but the first one that popped up for me is the heart chakra. And so I would feel it on my left side, where my heart was. And as I started learning more about chakras and speaking with my guides and meditating, I was called to move that feeling over to my actual heart chakra, which is in the center of your chest instead of the left where your actual heart is, and it's in the center. And so over time I moved, when I'd feel that feeling, I would move that feeling to the center, to my heart chakra. And that's kind of how I aligned with my twin flame chakra wise, is that I started with that heart chakra. So what this is telling me is that there is blockages now in the heart chakra that we need to be guided to have. So, a little smoke in first. Ugh. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we have 33 Pranite, release, declutter, heart chakra. Let me find the book. Oh, here it is. Oh, this just like popped out when I was getting the book. Reliability. I am reliable. When I say I'll do something, I take whatever that something is seriously. This applies to all commitments, even the ones that may have seemed small and insignificant to a less reliable me. For now on, flaking is just for dandruff commercials and cereal factories. That's really cool. Like, that is another thing with twin flame connections, reliability. And I like how it's a little clock too, because you're going, oh, and didn't I get the time? Yeah, time. So time is such a big factor in twin flame relationships. And if you label it as just waiting, it's like, it's not fun. So what I like about how it says reliability in the little clock is that time isn't just waiting. It's a time of action, a time of working on yourself while you are in separation. And that you're not going to build the loyalty. You're not going to build the loyalty if you're not reliable, if you're only relying on physical evidence to verify your relationship, your connection. You're going to be flaky about it, and it won't create a strong bond in the relationship. If you're just like, oh, I don't know if he really likes me, so I'm like, I know I have all these intense feelings with this person, but I don't think they like me, and I don't know what to do, so I'm just gonna try to like push it off, or like try to forget about it. But you can't forget about it. Like, if this is a true connection, you're not gonna be able to just let it go. You're not just gonna let it go, Elsa. So, talking about letting go, so we're going to talk about Pranite. Number 33, release and declutter. Heart chakra. Okay. It's time for you to release any stress from your physical and emotional body and your home environment. Try to clear out any clutter from both your home and your mind. It's important that you release and let go of anything that you no longer need. Pranite has been sent to you today to help you move forward in your life by releasing anything that is holding you back. Pranite is also a well-known feng shui crystal. It can assist in decluttering process. It helps you become more organized and assists you to see things from the most beneficial perspective. When Pranite shows up for you, it's important that you heed its message. Are there any items, objects, clothing, or furniture that you no longer need? Consider donating these items to charity or passing them on to a friend or family member. Do you have an emotional attachment to any objects from the past or from someone who didn't treat you well? Remember, each object holds a vibration and energy. It could be time to do away with objects which hold negative memories or thoughts for you. Declutter and make way for new energy to come to your life. So yeah, that's what I was talking about, the blockages in the heart chakra that Spirit wants us to focus on. And to be more reliable is to release what is holding you back from furthering this connection spiritually. And just like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling that declutter because like this whole week I have been so disorganized. Like I've just been throwing my clothes on the ground and just I like going back to my old ways. Because I've been really, so I'm a Virgo rising, so I've been trying to harness Virgo energy because that's grounding. Because I feel like if I'm just in my fire energy, which I feel like I've been all week, and it's definitely been because of the full moon in Aries, and I think that fire energy, I just went off with it, and now this whole week's been kind of like this smoke storm of me just like, whatever, I'm just gonna be messy. And I've been working so hard on like really getting that Virgo grounding organizational thing, like just putting things away, taking that 1 second to put my shirt in the closet instead of on the ground. So what was I saying? So yeah, that declutter needs to happen, they're saying. Maybe he's being really messy right now too. So they're like, we're both fire signs. So, oh my God, I need to stretch. We're both fire signs. So like, it's easy to be swept up in the fire and not ground yourself and put out the fire and be like, okay, this fire needs to simmer down. And like, just like in this resilience picture, see this? Making a s'more in the fire, but see, you need earth, the wood, and the rock. You need the rocks to keep it contained, and then you need the wood to keep it burning. And then you can use it to make s'mores instead of burning your whole forest down, like we see so much nowadays. So, yeah, it's containing that fire by decluttering, by really, I feel like earth energy is taking that moment, because in tarot, the Pentacles are earth energy, and it's the slowest moving suit. So it's to take that time. Again, that extra second that your mind thinks you don't have to put your clothes in the hamper instead of just throwing them on the floor and being like, I'll do this later. Because that's kind of not having that slow moving energy. You're saying I'll do this later, which is actually a lie, which means I will do this never, and just continue, because it's like, I won't do this because this moment right here is more important than my future. And when you're not future thinking, it doesn't necessarily mean you're present. It means that you don't want to deal with the present at all. You just want to be like, all right, I'm moving on right now, and I don't care about my present consequences. I'm just going to live a messy life, and I'm comfortable with it now, so that's fine. And you're not realizing. I mean, I feel like to be really present is to understand past, present, and future all in one, and understand what your present actions can do in the future and what your past has influenced your present, and being in the moment, but understanding all those aspects. So, yeah, so I guess basically let's just declutter our lives, friend in this connection. So that's what we need to do. So then we have Garnet, commitment, heart and sacral chakra. So commitment, going with resilience, reliability, loyalty that we've all had. Here, I'm going to show. Resilient, loyalty, reliability, resilience, commitment. And that goes with our dogs too, is that, you know, dogs can be very committed to people, are usually very committed to people, and that love is a commitment. So let's read about that. It's time for you to reignite your passion and open your heart and soul to positive, committed relationships. Examine the beliefs you hold about relationships and identify your beliefs which no longer serve you. Make a conscious decision to let them go. Oh my, I think this is like the let it go. It's funny. It's like the message today for this connection is let it go so that you can keep it. Like one of those weird spiritual paradoxes. Yeah, but it's like if we let go of our expectations of what a relationship is, like a relationship is telling the person you like the other person agreeing, going on dates, getting married, having kids, and like that's it. If we let that go and being like, wow, that's one way to have a relationship, or you can be open to what's happening right now and kind of figuring out and being that ingenious person and figuring out, oh wait, there's this thing is happening and I don't have that many tools to interpret it, but I will use what I've learned in the past to figure this out and trust my heart and being like, I have feelings for this person and I don't know how it's going to work out, but I just know, and I don't trust that knowing. And that's commitment. Is being committed to something is acknowledging that you have faith in the connection or faith in your goal. Like if you're committed to losing weight, that means you have faith that you can do that you can lose the weight. And what this card is saying is that commitment is faith. I think that's all I was trying to say. Garden attracts positive, loving energy to you and your relationships. Feel your heart open with love and sense of fulfillment. Don't feel guilty for wanting to be happy and successful in a long-term committed relationship. You deserve to have a wonderful life partner who will be by your side through life's ups and downs. This partner will be 100% committed to you, and you will be equally committed to them. Wow. If you're already in a relationship with that is positive, Garnet has shown up to reconfirm that you are on the right track. Thanks, Garnet. Garnet asks you to stay strong and hopeful because there are some great things just around the corner for you in your relationship area. Thanks. And this is why this is the heart and sacral chakra, because you need both in the relationship. Like the heart is just the beginning, but the sacral holds the emotions and the deeper inner feelings. The sacral is your genitals, basically. Or I imagine it as my womb. So that's where like both the love and the caring, and then also the deep, dark, hidden secrets and skeletons are in there too. And it's orange. The sacral chakra is the orange chakra. The root is the red one, is this color, this garnet color, this deep dark red. So the orange of the sacral goes into the red of the root chakra. But yeah, the heart and the sacral chakra working together in a relationship is really important, because you want those feelings of what is anti-animosity? Friendship. The feelings of friendship, camaraderie, family, and love are in your heart chakra, while the deep emotions that you're feeling are in the sacral, are deep down in your womb, in your what did I say? Yeah, in your womb, in your reproductive area. Is right there, is like there's like these deep things that you keep in from that love, that like your heart is like the love receiver. So any negativity about love or positivity about love is going to go through your heart, and then you're going to process it. It's going to go down it goes down into your chakras, all through all of them. But in the sacral chakra, that's where you keep this, where you store those emotions, where you deal with your emotions about love and how you react to love. And so it's just kind of this feedback system that the heart and sacral chakras have in there. So then we have heart chakra, dioptates, direction, heart chakra. I'm getting One Direction here. One Direction. There's One Direction. Or I had that imagery earlier when I was talking about when you have that balance, yin and yang, your path just lights up, and then there is like one direction. There's one direction, and there you go, it's lit up. But if it's not balanced, you're in the dark, and there's a lot of obstacles, and it's just like, yeah, you can figure out your way, use your ingenuity, but you don't have to do that. You can work on just balancing yourself out and letting that path, that one direction, light up. I don't know any One Direction songs, but I know those boys are doing stuff. And I know there's a One Direction connection in this connection. Oh my gosh. Ooh, oh my god. People, first video. It's great. Okay, so, okay, direction. 15. Are you feeling stuck in a rut? Not sure which way you should turn? Do you need some help with deciding which direction you should take? Dioptase is here today to help you weigh up your options and choose a direction to follow. The energy of the stone will help you become clear about what you do want to achieve. You may feel like you've been wasting time wandering aimlessly about of late. That time of confusion and stagnation is now over, and it is making way for a period of great focus and achievement. If you already know what direction you want to take this as a sign that you are on the right path. Just stay true to what you want. Don't worry about what other people think. Focus solely on what it is that you are doing. When you remain positive, strong, and driven, more abundance and opportunities come your way. Trust in the universe as you follow your dreams. Release your need to control the outcomes. Dioptase is associated with the heart chakra. It facilitates work on your inner child and relationships and helps you heal your heart so you can make true progress. Oh my gosh. This video is going a lot longer than I thought it would. Oh well. Thank you for being here with me on my first video. Finally, let's get some erotic fantasy cards out for some final advice, because it's still, I feel like people don't realize this in about twin flames, but you can have a very scratch that. Let me start over. Sexuality is just as important, or sexual intimacy is just as important to a twin flame connection and separation as it is physically. So like getting connected sexually to your partner is really important. And so that's where I like these cards for the twin flame connection, because it shows sexuality in all aspects of life and how to be in a relationship with being in tune with your sexuality. Oop. All right. Whoa. Okay. A lot of cards. I always do this. Okay, so bottom of the deck energy is the devil. But these girls are trying to get out of the chains. So it's kind of like us sisters, that sister love, woo, kind of breaking the chains of the devil guy. Which is, yeah, that makes sense. We're trying to thaw through it. We're trying to get through, because the devil is our ego, our logical mind that stops us from our true potential. Okay, so first card we have is the King of Pentacles, the Two of Swords, the Four of Swords. Oh my gosh, I just realized that it's all swords. The Three of Swords and the Five of Swords. Well, it went from 2, 4, 3, 5. 2, 4, 3, 5. I don't know what that means. So since we have a lot of swords, and it's funny because in the bottom of the deck energy, the girls are cutting the chain with 2 swords. And we have the Two of Swords right here. So swords represent thoughts and air signs, which is also that logical part of yourself. And I think that our thoughts and logic are getting in the way of of our progress, and that we need to work with these swords and work with our thoughts, because it's right now, we're in separation. It is a highly thought-driven relationship. It's like the first thing you need to realize is that you're in a relationship. When you recognize you have a twin flame and you're in separation, you're in a relationship. You're in it. You can't let go of it. So you have to work on it like a real relationship, just because you're not physically together. And when you're in a relationship with a person, it's not just the physical, like, how many hours are we hanging out together? Okay, now we're done. But we're in a relationship. It's about the feelings, the thoughts, the emotions, and you can maybe physically talk to them, but a lot of it is figuring it out on your own and figuring out how this person works, and your person figuring out how you work, and working together to create that relationship. So in a twin flame separation relationship, there is whatever's connecting you is your thoughts and your feelings that are happening at the moment. And so this is telling me that we've got a lot of swords to sort through. And the only other non-sword card is this, the King of Pentacles, which I see as just, we're both the king. We're both waiting. But we're waiting in a productive way. Like, we are king, we're slow-moving king, but that it takes time. Like, planting a beautiful garden from seeds takes a lot of time and energy, but it's so valuable at the end that you created it and you waited and had the patience to do all this. And you can see that instead of like buying a bunch of plants and then like watering them from time to time, but you don't, there's a different kind of satisfaction in just growing everything yourself and seeing it and taking that care. And that's so same with this relationship, is that the kind of pruning and caring and gardening that we're going to do is in our minds, is in our thoughts, and how we approach this relationship. So let's read about each of these, because I really like the descriptions they have for this tarot deck. Okay, let's go King of Pentacles. Okay. Right. King of Pentacles. The value of profit and experience. The enlightened king. Make the most of every opportunity. Invest time and energy. Evaluate experience with clarity and benefits gained from them. So yeah, just that experience. And I like how he's the enlightened king, where he knows that it's not just about fast action. It's about slow, decisive movements and being connected to the earth, like I was talking about, to tame that fire. And I think because this is the swords represent the air sign, all these swords in this connection are really fueling the flames and making it also like helter-skelter. Two of swords. I get to stay just in the sword section. Stillness and introspection. Prisoner awaiting their fate. Deprivation of the senses heightens emotions. Look to your soul with sincerity and silence in order to understand each other. So yeah, this faith in just figuring out. In this picture, I see her figuring things out, like that kind of James Bond mentality where it looks like you have oh my gosh, I totally had a mind fart. Okay. It looks like you don't have any choice, or there's no way out really, but what's actually going on is like behind her back, she's like loosening the ropes and she's about to like attack, but it's gonna take a little, like couple minutes to figure it out first, till she can like get out of her shackles, take these swords and kill whoever did that to her. All right, so the Four of Swords is rest and confidence, the sleeping lady, sleep that leads to the birth of our senses, enjoy resting in dreams so that our desires can live again, refreshed on awakening. So yeah, keep doing that dream work, keep your mind open. If you keep your heart open, you can let in more in your dreams. And I've had dreams of this person. And I've gotten messages are like, you know, I feel like he has also. We both dream. We both like to meet in dream world. So continue doing that. I think that will see. That's why the swords are in the like attack mode. They have vines growing over it, and that's kind of like the enlightened mind growing. Since I talked about this guy, he's a good farmer, gardener, and growing these vines and beautiful flowers over the logic and being like, well, look though, it can also be this way, and that's where we're going to discover that. Where we're going to grow is in our dreams. So then we have a totally opposite image, the Three of Swords, where she is stabbing herself, which looks like she's stabbing herself in the solar plexus chakra, which is your thoughts, your intellect. So it's like, it's kind of, I get like that, shooting yourself in the hoof. Shouts out to Megan Thee Stallion. Shot in the hoof, shooting yourself in the hoof. Like, you're doing this to yourself. These are your thoughts. These are your thoughts that are happening to you. These are, you can use, see, the Two of Swords is in the background of this picture. Her successes, her ability to balance these. But the Third Swords, it's like she got a new thought and she's just like, F that. I'm going, like, I'm done with this already. I'm going to end this adventure because it hurts too much. Like, I think that's what she used these two swords in battle. And then the third one, she's just like, F this. I'm done. This is too hard. And not seeing the future, which is the Four of Swords. The next card is the Four, where she is now accepting that these thoughts and emotions that she's feeling, and using that logic in a weird, sadistic, self-inflicting harmy way. So let me read the Three of Swords. Obsession, agitation, the sacrifice of the night, profound disturbance of the senses. Recognize your inner turmoil. Pay attention to what causes you pain. Yeah, I like profound disturbance of the senses, where you're shooting yourself in the hoof and not, you like getting overwhelmed by these thoughts and using your thoughts to combat your thoughts, being like, I think I have feelings for this person, and then having your other thoughts come back and be like, there's no proof that they will ever like you, and you're just making this up. So that's yourself stabbing yourself in the hoof. And finally we have the Five of Swords. So you went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was like a little journey through the mind is what this relationship is. Blah, blah, blah. So I should put this down. Okay. Five of Swords. Consider one's ambitions. The self-confident warrior. Only true desires will provide true pleasure. Carefully assess what you really want and the sacrifices and effort required to obtain it. So yeah, this is Five of Swords about walking away from a battle with casualties, but you're not one of them. You are not a casualty. You are like, I made it through. I dropped 2 of my swords, but I got some. And these people are walking away, so I'm just gonna move forward with that. And so kind of like this is like the lone journey. What I'm seeing is that this is a recognition of the connection, and that is going to be a lonely journey, and that you have to let go of these thoughts of these people. You're going to have to let go of people, declutter that that mind, and be like, okay, maybe I don't need all these logical thoughts right here. I can use these new enlightened thoughts, and even though that's less, she's only holding 2 swords out of 5. So, oh my gosh, my leg. She's only holding 2 swords, but sometimes less thoughts the better. Too many cooks in the kitchen. But that's what I'm saying. If you're fighting your thoughts with your thoughts, you're not gonna get anywhere. This girl is moving forward. So, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up there. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how long my first video was, but hopefully, you got to know a little about me, and we'll have more in the future.